Hey everybody, welcome back to an all-new Geek World Order video. Randy here, and today we're doing something a little bit different. We're talking about a news story. Now, I know a lot of you have probably heard this story. It's making its rounds, and it's just one of those things where times are changing. And it's a little bit of a different one for me because I think there's a lot of nostalgia here with me that, well, let's talk about it. So, it was announced a few days ago that Best Buy will be ceasing their sales of physical media, especially in the regards of DVDs and Blu-rays. So, of course, we've had it where we've been going to the digital formats, the streaming platforms. Physical media doesn't sell like it used to. And it's definitely a weird one. So they're still going to sell through the current holiday season, but beginning as early as January, your local Best Buys are phasing out the movie section, basically. Because I think they've more or less done it with music. I'm not even sure if my local Best Buy has music anymore. If they do, it's a very small, piece of one row of media. I know, in mine, the section that used to be for TV shows, movies, all that stuff, used to be, basically, the whole middle of the store. And then it just kind of slowly shrunk. I know a couple years ago, it went down to 4 or 5 rows. It used to be all the way up to the camera section, but that section started expanding out. Now, my local Best Buy, it's 2 rows, and the majority of the middle section is toys and collectibles and some things that you don't really think about going to Best Buy for, so whatever. And for me, it's so weird because I definitely have memories of going into a Best Buy, buying movies, getting so much of my collection, starting to experience TV shows on DVD. So much of this nostalgia. And I was there at the beginning of the DVD movement. When they had HD DVD, the rehash of the VHS Beta Wars thing, and I remember buying VHS tapes at Best Buy. So that's where I was in my life. Yeah, I didn't get a DVD player for the first time until 2000. And I sort of specifically knew why I wanted a DVD player, because I wanted that DVD copy of Transformers the movie. Transformers is why I got a DVD player in the first place. But by that point, it was kind of, we kind of knew where everything was heading with media. We knew the disc-based media. DVD won the war, so at that point, we already knew. And I know for a fact I've spent hours, a lot of my teenage years and my 20s, in the physical media section of Best Buy, looking for TV shows, movies. Because, at that point, we didn't have streaming services. And that was such a weird deal. And I've seen it, and then you just have the evolution from the DVD to the Blu-ray, and that was a much shorter turnaround time. I feel like DVDs themselves weren't around very long before Blu-rays came out. And even then, as we evolved into platforms like Netflix, which is also weird. I didn't even know they were still doing the DVD service, but apparently they were. but apparently within the last few weeks, they've been sending out the last of their physical DVDs, even just telling customers to keep the DVDs because they don't want them back at this point. So they are going all in on the streaming. They're cutting out the physical discs. And you're still going to have options to get discs. You'll still be able to go to like your Targets, your Walmarts. Now, even then, some of them are still severely cutting. And even a lot of those are getting rid of those sections. And it's a shame. Because, honestly, I've bought and watched so many movies that I just randomly found on a DVD shelf. And I thought, oh, this is a weird movie. Why not? Let me watch it. It's one of those things, like, I don't like reading books on a reader device. I have to have a physical book. I love going into bookstores, browsing, maybe grabbing something I wouldn't have grabbed or thought to grab. And it's so hard to do online. Because you can still get the movies from Amazon and other retailers. Now, I know there are some smaller niche markets for lesser available things. Shout Factory is amazing for getting like niche product in, especially when it comes to like Japanese TV, foreign television shows, things like that. And that's really where we're gonna have to go. And I know there's been all these weird things with streaming because you have the platforms. You have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. But when you look at the music scene, it's weird because like that technology's almost got to a point where it's dying out. You know, there really wasn't a new format after CDs. We kind of just went from CD to digital. Now we have the streaming music platforms, and there's the whole, owning something that you pay for versus getting a download code. There's almost this retro sensation of going back to vinyl. And I wonder if there's going to be something like that for movies. And I think there still will be to a degree, but you're going to have to get them from niche shops. Because not every movie is available on every streaming platform. There are a lot of movies that, for whatever weird limbo legal reasons, aren't on streaming platforms. So we're still in a weird place. Like, music has become a little more unified, where music is almost universally available on like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. Very few exceptions that you get where an artist's music isn't available on every platform. That's not the case with streaming services. With the TVs and movies, it's sort of like the cable days. Especially when you like your HBO, your Cinemax Stars, there would be big competition. Showtime also, there'd be this huge competition for who's gonna get the release movies when they can be aired on the cable networks like that. And there's almost that same competition within the streaming market. So it's hard. I feel like it's harder to not have that availability in the streaming, with physical DVD, Blu-ray. You can still go to the store and pick things up, get the movies you want. Like, I know for the longest time I was always super excited about Tuesday. Tuesday was new release day for movies. I mean, I think it still is. But clearly I haven't been in the shops very much. And it's just kind of weird because it kills the buzz. It's different browsing for movies online. Sometimes you have to know what to look for. Sometimes you get weird suggestions from Amazon or the other websites. So it's a very interesting time we're living in, and I have those memories of going into video stores. I remember Blockbusters and Hollywood Videos and just going. Like, DVDs, just rent DVDs, find these weird movies that maybe I wouldn't have watched normally. So it's a lot harder to do that in the current age. Because I know when I flip through Netflix, look through those listings, sometimes I feel like I'm just flipping through about the same 20 choices. Because algorithms are just a pain in the butt on streaming services. Once you watch like a couple of things, you don't get a lot of recommendations outside that, unless you just watch something completely outside the box, and then you're getting even weirder recommendations. So it's weird. I'll tell that. I'll say that. But to be in where we are, like, I know this is kind of where we're going, the popular demand. There isn't that demand for the physical media as much. And it's sad. Because that's something that's always been a part of my life, is that shopping, that wandering, that just finding random things. Even going to like secondhand stores, that's something you don't see anymore. You don't see used video stores. You don't see those places. Like, I mean, those were definitely dying like in my 20s. And like, man. So there is, like, I understand where the market is going, but I wonder if the contract situations with the streaming platforms are still too volatile to make these kind of moves. And like I said, I think the move to all streaming, cutting the physical sales out of some of these stores, is gonna hurt. Especially independent movie producers who already have trouble getting certain avenues. So taking that out of the stores is gonna hurt. It's gonna cause a lot of issues, getting that physical space, having that catchy DVD cover, just something that draws into a product that's not as easy to do online with this very saturated market. Like, a number of things. I hate shopping for books on Amazon. I hate shopping for movies on Amazon. Because unless you know like the specific thing you want, their websites are kind of garbage when it comes to the just casual strolling and looking. It's not fun. And like I said, Best Buy has been a weird part of my life, and I just feel like there's just more and more that I start to go into the stores less and less. Like, I think I've only been into my local Best Buy a couple of times this year. I maybe even less than 10, like maybe 10 times this year total. And a few years ago, I'd be there at least once a week, if not twice, hanging out, looking for things. But it's really hard with these kind of stores now, when they don't have those smaller products, when they focus on the larger things like the appliances, the computers, TVs. I'm sure that gives them better profit margins to sell those things, but I always felt that I would be more likely to buy some of those other things because I would be in the store more often. But kind of that physical media is kind of one of those things that is really easy to get you into the store and coming back, because you see things when you're looking around, and it's just like, oh yeah, I see that. Nowadays it's like, why should I even go into the store? Like, if I need an appliance, I need TV, Amazon. I can literally have it the next day. So I am definitely going to miss physical media sales. And I know even some of the stuff like Walmart, Target, they're starting to cut back. Now, as of right now, Best Buy is still keeping video games around and physical video games, but I think even within a couple of years, I feel like we're within a generation or two of consoles that I think we're not far from exclusive, just download the game to your console. I think at that point, the physical media for the games and the frequency of patches, things like that, I feel like we're not too far from a point where it's no longer going to make sense to have physical media for video games or any kind of computer game, PC games, console games. Just the way they change and update all the time, that's probably we're not far from download only, digital only for video games. I feel like we are almost there. But I feel like we could adapt more to the less physical media options or just buying your videos online like that. I think if we had more consistency with the streaming platforms, because right now I feel like with the ever increasing prices, it's almost not worth it anymore. It's like almost time to go back to cable. But I digress. But man, Best Buy. I honestly feel like I have less and less reason to go into their stores anymore. And it's sad because I do have a lot of memories of Best Buy. I love Best Buy. It was actually the first store that I ever got a credit card for. So yeah. And just so many good memories hanging out with friends, finding movies and CDs and weird things to listen to, and just wasting time. It took a lot of my late high school years, my 20s. A lot of just fun memories hanging out there, but as of right now, that's the direction we're moving. We're moving towards the we're moving towards eradicating physical media. It's just kind of where we go. And I'm sad. I'm a little sad to see it go. The nostalgia factor is there for me. I know there's still ways to get the media, and I'm sure I'll get that for what I do collect, but kind of the lessening of that experience it's bittersweet. I know that's where we're going as a society and how our technology is evolving, but it's just something that takes the experience away. But yeah, that's what's happening, guys. Best Buy and other stores are basically phasing out physical media. Best Buy was the most recent big announcement of it. So that's where we're at, man. So what do you guys think? Are you like me? Are you in that boat where you've kind of seen the progress through the generations, and do you have those memories of going DVD hunting, all that good stuff? And what do you think about this move to the digital only and a lot of these other moves? So to me, there is a lot of nostalgia, the joy of the hunt, that I will definitely miss with not having the physical media in those stores. But that's where we're at, guys. What do you think? Comment below. Put your thoughts here. Give me a like, subscribe to the channel. Please do all those things to help the algorithm and get these videos pushed out. And I will see y'all in the next one, guys.